Hello, welcome for the first time, or welcome back to another one of my vlogs. I'm just finishing up my little, I guess you could say, daily beauty routine. I haven't been one for a ton of makeup lately, so I'm kind of just making sure my skin looks okay and then doing like a few touches and then I'm gonna get on with the rest of my day. I feel like that's typically something you do when it's hot outside, but I don't know. I've been getting more into it with winter. Maybe it's like the laziness of it all, like wanting to, we've been talking about this a lot, but wanting to move slower and things. I feel like makeup is just too much to ask of me right now. We have gotten our weekend off to a really good start. I hadn't already started the vlog at that point, so I was like, no, I really want you to be able to see where I was going, even though I hadn't done like my greeting or anything yet, because it was way too beautiful to miss out on in the vlogs. It was a place I had been wanting to visit for months at this point, but I just recently did a partnership with a big hotel brand here, and that was kind of the inspiration behind going to the Swan House. It was basically about finding hidden gems in Atlanta, which for some people that's like not a hidden gem, but for a lot of people in Atlanta, if you know the stereotype of like what there is to do in Atlanta, that's just not going to be the go-to. So that was really why I wanted to prioritize going to the Swan House. But oh my gosh, it was beautiful. We only were there like, I want to say, an hour, because that's how much time we had left until they were getting ready to close. But if you have not tried the Atlanta History Museum, there's so much to do. Like, and my favorite part of it, tons and tons of gardens, which is why I decided to go to the Swan House. It just had like the most beautiful, like, big old house. I can't remember when it was built. I want to say like in the early 1900s or something like that. It could have been earlier than that, but basically the family ended up donating it to the city of Atlanta, and that's why it is a part of the museum. But there's just so much to see at that place. There's like a barn and things like that. Like, it was just beautiful. Okay, it really spoke to me. Okay, obviously you already know the vibes over here. We are very much like cute nature girlies over here. Even though it's still pretty warm out here in Atlanta, I've just been trying my best to kind of romanticize my fall. Like, for breakfast we had the most amazing, and they're not from scratch, probably from scratch is probably the most amazing, but the most amazing out of the box, pumpkin waffles from Trader Joe's. If you have not tried those, they are so good for anybody who like doesn't feel like actually sitting there making waffle mix. Last night we even had a movie night, if you will. I feel like we're having a whole little like spooky weekend, but we had a movie night and we've been going with themes. And so last night's theme was horrible horror movies. Not bad horror movies in like a bad way, like I don't even want to finish this, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. A good way. Like, I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like there are Halloween movies that are bad, and then I feel like there are Halloween movies that are good bad. Like, I feel like the corniness is what makes it good. And so we ended up watching two movies. The first one we watched was The Terrifier or something like that. It's basically about this clown named Art the Clown, and oh my gosh. I went into it thinking like, this is funny. This is gonna be like one of those bad Halloween movies that's like good. It was already impressing me from the start. But oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie, if you are squeamish, very gory, and I will say, like, whoever was behind creating this movie, they're creative when it comes to the horror movie realm. We were talking about how we felt like whoever created this movie, they like researched all Halloween movies, all horror movies, and like looked at what has worked out and all the bad, cheesy good ones, and like put it in that movie, but then like elevated it. My boyfriend was even saying that he feels like this movie could go down as like one of our Halloween movie classics. I feel like we don't really have a lot of those. Like, you know how the generation before us has like Jason and they have like Michael Myers. We don't really have one of those, but I think Art the Clown, like the Terrifier, and there might be an older version, I'm not sure, but this new one, it actually was not bad, and I think they've come out with a 2 and a 3 at this point, so clearly people are into it. So that was the first one that we watched, and then we followed up with Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods is like no horror Halloween movie that you ever have seen. It definitely has like a modern little twist on it, but I feel like it can be really appreciated. We also kind of just went over the top with like kind of romanticizing the night. I feel like romanticizing things makes everything better. Like, of course, you can sit in front of a movie and just casually eat like just some popcorn and a bag of chips. That's cute or whatever. But we ended up taking it to the next level. It wasn't even like that much effort. But I ordered this little spinny snack wheel off of Amazon because I told myself like I really want to take advantage of the weekends that I have at home. Like, I don't want to just lay on the couch and watch movies. I want to make it an experience, especially because I'm such a homebody. So I'm like, why am I not taking full advantage of being at my home? So I bought this little snack tray and we put like different snacks in it. Like, we also included s'mores ingredients because we ended up making s'mores. I bought this little indoor fire pit. When I got it, I was thinking, you know, this might be a little frivolous. Like, this is probably going to be something that sits in my kitchen and I'm probably never going to use it, but I was excited when I bought it. But oh my gosh, when I tell you, using it made me want to use it again. So it's not gonna like burn the place down or anything like that. I mean, of course we'll watch it, but it's not like huge. It's a fire pit made for indoor use. That is why I bought it. And so we ended up making little s'mores over it while we were watching the movie, and when I tell you, it was such an experience. Like, I could just tell we were both so happy. It just felt like, you know, when your teachers or your parents make Halloween or whatever holiday really special for you when you're younger. I feel like we kind of did that for ourselves last night, and wow, 10 out of 10 recommend. I will put down below the things that I got for the Halloween night because yeah, you definitely must do this before the holidays are over. Like, even Christmas, we're about to pull that thing right back out again and like start from the top with some Hallmark movies. But yeah, we definitely enjoyed that so much that we're going to do it again tonight. Only tonight's theme is going to be more like nostalgic childhood Halloween. I just feel like since I have kind of shifted gears of how I look at life, and like instead of saying like, oh, I'm so bored or there's nothing to do around here or nothing around here interests me, kind of just making the most of like what I have and what I can turn it into. Life has just been so fun, and so that's what this weekend is all about. We are back and we have our pizza. We were supposed to actually cook tonight, but I was just not in the mood. I was literally getting ready to go and get the ingredients for cooking pasta tonight. And then I came back in here and I was like, I actually don't feel like cooking. So we went to my favorite pizza place in the city. It is called Antico's, and I just like it because I feel like it tastes very authentic. Like, if you go in there, it's definitely giving like Italian mom and pop vibes, which is great. But they have two different buildings. They have one that has a pizza, and then they have the other one that has like, I think, ice cream, and then the place you can get pasta. So literally, we ordered the pizza and we ordered the pasta, and we just hopped to the other building to get it. So this is what the pizza looks like. This is actually my first time looking at it. It looks good. So it's a margarita pizza, and then we just add pepperoni on top because I'm a carnivore. I need meat. So there's that, and then for the pasta, oh, they gave us a little bit of a salad and a baguette also. But this is what the pasta is giving. I low-key just want to stick a fork in it right now. Yum. I just love takeout. I love being at home and I love takeout. We're going to build, or we're going to try to build, a fort. Now, I was even more excited when he told me he has actually never built a fort before, and I was like, excuse me? Because that was one thing that we used to do all the time. We would be in my bedroom and we would just be building forts out of like blankets and sheets and holding it up by heavy things and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting because I have not exercised that part of my childlike creative brain since then. It's probably been nearly 2 decades since I built a fort. I actually don't remember. Maybe not. Maybe like 15 years or something. But that's close enough. So yeah, we're gonna try to build one. He was asking how do we build one, and yeah, I was like, we kind of gotta freestyle it. I'm not even gonna lie. I did consider myself going on Google and being like, how to build a fort, but I feel like that ruins it. You know, I feel like the best idea is gonna come from me just exercising that part of my childhood brain. So we're gonna see how we do. Oh, the candles. Let me get those. So I did order some candles for this. I really should have been put them up because at this point we're like halfway through October and I'm putting them up. But honestly, it's okay because the reason I got them was I felt like they would come in handy not only for the month of Halloween, October, but also for Christmas. So I don't know. I might keep them up through November. I don't know. Maybe. Or I might take them down and put them up again for Christmas decorations because I feel like these do really well for Halloween and for Christmas. So they are remote control, but you are supposed to hang these from the ceiling. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that yet, but I've got tape and I'm gonna go in there and look at the instructions. But yeah, these are gonna hang from the ceiling like this, and it's kind of gonna give like a little spooky Harry Potter type vibe. You know, I love my low light. Okay, so update. I can't believe I overlooked this, but these take batteries. Who in the world still uses batteries? Oh my gosh, I was looking at how to like get them up there because you know I order a million things that are like LED candles and stuff from Amazon, and normally they're all like plug in and charge them, and they already come like kind of charged. I read the instructions. It's talking about you need 2 AA batteries per candle. That's like 24 batteries. That's like $50 worth of batteries. I don't even know if I can return these at this point, but these are not getting used. Because who is buying batteries? Not me. I'm not buying batteries. Okay, first things first, before we get started, we may have lost the floating candles vibe, but we still have the music. We listened to this playlist yesterday called Halloween Party on Spotify, and when I tell you, it's a really good Halloween playlist. Like, it's one that's gonna make you want to dance, and so I love that. We're gonna play it and build our fort. In the neighborhood. Let's see the music video. Something weird. Built the fort. That was interesting. At this age, building a fort, I'm not even gonna lie, it's stressful. We haven't got to enjoy the fruits of our labor yet, but also he pointed out a good point while we were building the fort. He was like, you're making this way bigger than I feel like your childhood forts were, and that's where the struggle lied, because we were trying to figure out how to actually connect the sheets. You may notice, or you probably have not noticed, but I'm not wearing earrings, and that is because my earrings were a contribution to building the fort, to connect the sheets. Yeah, that was your idea. He said he never built the fort and he seemed kind of like apprehensive about it, but he had most of the good ideas. Like, I was just thinking like big, and he was like grounding us with like actual ideas that could be put to use. Yeah, we're getting ready to eat. Or I think I showed you already, but yeah. We even got a little bottle of wine, the dearly beloved that I showed you that I picked up from Trader Joe's. We're gonna watch one movie that I pick and then one movie that he picks. So I'm choosing Haunted Mansion because I have not seen it in years and I love the Haunted Mansion. And then the Eddie Murphy one, of course, because he was like, which one? I'm like, what do you mean, which one? I was like, the first one. And he was like, yeah, which one out of the first ones? And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, I'm gonna assume you mean the Eddie Murphy one. And then I was like, oh, I forgot that they came out with another Haunted Mansion. Did you watch that one? Was it good? Dang. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be watching, of course, the Eddie Murphy version. Like, why would I be like, yeah, let's watch the 2023 one? He's looking at me like this. And his pick is Paranorman? Paranorman. I actually have never seen Paranorman, which I think is a good mix because we're gonna be kind of watching like a real life movie and also like a animated movie. So as you can see, this is what the fort is giving on top. It's kind of dark in here. Here is the lovely broom that I have placed to give us a little bit of height. My original idea was to watch the movie on the actual TV, And then it occurred to me, like, when have I ever looped the TV into my fort? That was where I went wrong on the first one. Down here, we've got the actual little loungy spot. We've got some pillows on the back because I'm not trying to have my back touch the books that I have lined up here. We love doing this. We've done this before. We'll put like a duvet on the floor and then lay on it because it's so cushy. But yeah, you can literally see what we have holding this up. A ladder, a chair. It's giving very much a 10-year-old did this. And then right here is where we will actually be watching the movie. So got plenty of room to stretch out. Look, I was just trying to be mindful, okay? We are big adults. I wanted to make sure we could sprawl out, so it had to be big. But yeah, these are the fort vibes. It's actually very cozy. This feels softer than my bed. I don't actually know if you're gonna be able to stay right here because I have this camera on the edge of the dashboard right now. It looks like it's gonna stay, but it's a little crooked. Oh, here comes a speed bump. We're going to the farmer's market, and I'm actually trying a new farmer's market today. I'm trying this Alpharetta one because, of course, I found it. I think I found it on Instagram, but then I did a little extra research on TikTok to see what they had because one thing that is a requirement for me for a farmer's market is obviously produce. Like, I don't want to show up and it's like food I can eat that day. That's a food truck festival. That's not a farmer's market. Like, I'm trying to find where the carrots at, where's the lettuce. But yeah, you know that I've been trying to kind of use that as my form of grocery shopping for the week. Not fully, but as far as produce goes, as best as I can. And so we're gonna try out this Alpharetta one real quick. Anyways, you can't actually see my outfit at the moment, but I have on like this little dress that kind of gives me vintage vibes, but it's not vintage. But then I also have on like my favorite cowboy boots that I feel like I wear all the time. But I was just telling him about the first time that I got a pair of cowboy boots. I was in the 7th grade, and the only reason I remember them is because, number one, I was super excited about them. Like, did anybody else plan out their first day of school outfit? Like, I was one of those. Like, I had my first day of school outfit like planned like a week ahead. In the morning of the first day of school, I'm sitting there like, yeah, this is about to slap. But I just remember these pair of brown, like, I don't even think they were real leather, like brown plastic cowboy boots with gold studs on them, and they were high up as well. Like, I always did tall ones, never the short ones. And I remember them because we had gotten them from Rack Room Shoes. That was like the summer, what do you call it? Like summer tradition before you go back to school. My mom would take us to Rack Room Shoes and we get like I think it's like buy two get one free or something like that. I don't know, but I was so hyped because she let me choose the cowboy boots as one of them, and man, when I tell you I wore those into the ground, like obsessed ever since about 7th grade. But now they're real and they're leather, and these are vintage. People always ask me like, can you link those? I'm sorry, I can't link them, but the best cowboy boots are the vintage ones. So 10 out of 10 recommend, like, just kind of researching until you find one that just speaks to you, and that's what I did with these. But I can't link the dress. But I feel like I look really 70s today because I thought it was just my hair, really, just because it's like the fro and the cowboy boots. But then he was like, nah, the dress makes you look very 70s too. But it's okay. I think it's a vibe. We ended up finding quite a bit of produce at the market, like a lot. It's definitely better than my local
farmer's market. First, we ended up getting these apples. The apples were gorgeous, and they were so nice at that tent. He said it was because they complimented me, but they were still really nice. But I forgot what these were called. Do you remember what these apples were called? I can't remember. It had like some name that I'm not used to seeing in a grocery store, but they're this really pretty color, like little hints of green. Yeah, and they were running out of these, so I just felt like these must be the apples to get. So I went ahead and got those. And then there was a tent that actually had strawberries. And I asked him too, I was like, how do you have strawberries at this time of year? Because strawberries technically are not in season. But he said they would have them for a couple more weeks, probably just because it's so hot here. So I got tons of strawberries. Hopefully they're good. I feel like the ones that I've been getting from the regular grocery store just haven't been very tasty. Like, you eat a strawberry because you want a strawberry to be sweet, not because you want it to be tart. I will say they smell good, so they're probably gonna be good. I feel like typically when they smell really good, that's when they're gonna be pretty sweet. We got some eggs, and the price of the eggs were actually really good. Ooh, those look pretty. They all shiny and stuff. Yum. But yeah, the price was really good, and she was really sweet as well. Most of the people there at the market were really nice. Oh my gosh, where is this stain from? I guess that's what I get for putting produce in my lap. It's okay, I'll just have to wash my dress. Found some carrots. This was the last bunch of carrots, and I haven't had carrots for dinner in a while. A huge, I don't even want to take it out, but a huge stalk. Lots and lots of spinach, and it smells really good. Like, everything at that stand just smelled super good. And I think that's everything I got. I mean, that's quite a bit of stuff. I normally don't leave the market with that many things. I've pretty much just been using the market to determine like what's in season. I like don't even be like, oh, I'm in the mood for this week. It's like whatever's in season is what I decide I'm in the mood for the current week. So yeah, that's all the grocery that I'm going to be eating this week. I gotta find something that involves sweet potatoes and carrots and spinach and whatnot. So I'm so excited because I'm actually starting a new book today. I read the Legendborn book a few months back, but now I'm on to the second one. This one is called Bloodmarked. If you saw in my... I'm in front of a playground, so the kids are like playing hide and seek and screaming. But if you saw my little kind of bookstore shop with me vlog, it wasn't dedicated to that, but it was just like a part of the vlog. This was one of the books that I picked up. The first one I read out of this series, I actually read it in the form of audiobook just because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. But I actually really liked it, and so I'm kind of sad that I did listen to it in the form of audiobook, because I feel like when it comes to fantasy audiobooks, I don't like to strictly listen to audiobook because I feel like you don't get the experience that you get when you read it. Like, there's a lot of world building. There's just a lot going on in fantasy books. If you're a fantasy reader, you know, like, you really got to lock yourself away and lock into the book, because you're learning like a whole new world. You're learning new words, new concepts, so if you don't really pay attention, you won't really get the feel of the whole story. And so that was why I knew when I read the second book, I would need to read it physically so I can really fall into the pages. And I feel like my imagination does a lot better too when I also have a physical book, because if I'm reading an audiobook, it's typically because I'm doing something else. And so yeah, I felt like Legendborn was such a good story, and I probably would have enjoyed it even more if I would have read the book. But I know now. I know better. I still need to buy the physical copy because I only have this one in physical, but I'm excited, and it's such a pretty book. Like, this is gorgeous. We've got I think I called them painted pages last time, but they're called sprayed pages. But your girl loves a good fantasy, and we're twins, early hair twins. The thought just occurred to me that it's gonna be cold in a couple of months, and I don't know if I'm gonna have it in me to sit outside like this. Like, I've been complaining about it being hot, but now I'm kind of like, but when it's hot, you get to be outside. am literally at the beginning of this book and I'm like already locked in. I feel like I'm already getting a better experience with it physically than I was in the form of audiobook. Just like the first page alone, I'm like, I feel like this is gonna be a ride.
What is up? I realized I was not done with the vlog. I feel like I've been doing this a lot lately. When it's time for me to start on a new vlog, I look back and I'm like, wait a second, you didn't even finish the first one. Like, I finished, but I forget to close out, and you know I like to close out. But also, book update. Quick one. It's literally just one book. But before I get to that, let me point out the elephant in the room. Yes, I did straighten my hair. I wouldn't necessarily call it a silk press because it's not that silkly pressed. I did it myself, okay? DIY at the vanity. What did I do? First I blew my hair out and then I straightened it and then I did like some heatless curls. And so that's why it's like so voluminous and has a lot of body. That's like the plus side of me not being a good straightener, like hair straightener. I cannot do the super straight look on my hair, which is why I have to have curls. But because of that, it always is very like bouncy and stuff like that. So honestly, I'm fine with it because, you know, I'm more of a fan of like having bigger hair anyway. So yeah, that's why my hair looks different. Work has been revving up a lot, and so it's just easier to wear my hair straight. That way I don't have to do it for like 2 weeks, minus like, you know, recurling it in the heatless curls every night. But the book, I showed you this book earlier in the vlog. I don't think I had talked about it. I may have talked about it in another vlog, but I hadn't read it yet at the time. But In the Company of Witches. This is a new Practical Magic stan account. I watched it for the first time this year ever, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, the plot, not really there, but the vibes are everything. And when I tell you, I think I have like maybe 30 more pages of this book left. As soon as I sat down, oh my gosh, this book makes you want to cuddle up in front of a fireplace with a cozy book and a cup of tea and just rub your feet together. Like, that is the mood. And literally, that is what the main character is basically doing on the first page of this book. It is very much spooky season, cozy vibes, but I don't feel like it has to be like a spooky season read. I mean, I feel like you can read about this anytime, but I had to mention this now because I know this is going to be the last week of October. If you somehow can get your hands on this book before October ends, if you want to read it before Halloween, do it, because it's a quick read. It's a pretty easy read. It is just all the cozy, witchy, magical vibes, and it has a lot of parallels with Practical Magic. I actually was underlining the things that kind of reminded me of it. I'm not going to harp on it too much, but it has like the same thing as like the aunts. The main character kind of reminds me of the character that Sandra Bullock played in Practical Magic. But yeah, I will also say though, and I feel like if you've seen Practical Magic, even if you're a fan, you gotta admit, the plot makes no sense, okay? It's just everywhere. But what I like about this book is the plot. It's not too serious, but it actually does make sense. Like, you can follow it, and it's not just like the author randomly threw things in. So that is one thing I appreciate and I enjoy. So I haven't read the ending yet, but I will say I think I might go ahead and crown this one as my favorite unserious, cozy, spooky season read for this year. Last year it was another witchy book. It was the Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I think that's what it's called. I read that one last year in October. Loved it. It was such a cutesy book. So if you haven't read that one either, that's a really good pickup. But yeah, this one is that book for me this year during this time of year. So I just wanted to point that out. But I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I felt like I did a lot of like things that I just love to do in this vlog. So the vlog that I'm starting today, it's very much going to be in that same realm as this week's vlog. And not like the same things. We're doing completely different things. But I feel like I put it in the same category, like beautiful scenery, cozy vibes. Like, I am so excited. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you do that so you don't miss the next one. Don't be surprised when you see me in the thumbnail with hair like this. This is my pre-warning to you. I have a different look right now, okay? Just so you don't get confused. I just turn post notifications on, okay? That way, YouTube will notify you when I post a video. And then you don't have to question if it's me because you know you're notified. You know, I'm gonna close the vlog out here so we can start the next one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, as always. Like I say, like all of your favorite creators' videos. It's the best way to support your favorite creator. Alright, I'll see y'all next time in the next vlog. Love you so, so much. Mwah.